She walks in the door and starts telling you about her terrible day at work. Her boss said something. Her coworker did something annoying. The project she's working on is a mess. And your brain immediately goes to, okay, how do we fix this? Maybe you suggest she talk to HR, or update her resume, or handle things differently next time. You're trying to help. But she's getting more frustrated, not less. And you're sitting there thinking, what do you want me to do? Just let you suffer? Let me show you what she actually needs when she's venting about work. Because it's not what you think. First, understand this. When your wife complains about her job, she's usually not asking you to fix her job. She's asking you to help her decompress from it. There's a massive difference between those two things. At work, she's been holding it together all day, being professional, managing her reactions, not saying what she really thinks. When she gets home and tells you about it, she's finally letting all that pressure out. She's processing the day out loud with the one person she trusts enough to not have to filter herself. That's what the venting is. It's emotional release, not a cry for help. So when you jump straight to solutions, you're basically telling her, stop processing and let me fix this so we can move on. But she's not ready to move on yet. She's still in the middle of processing. Here's what to do instead. When she starts talking about work, your first move is just to be there. Don't multitask. Don't keep watching TV or scrolling your phone. Actually stop and give her your attention. This matters more than you think. Because if she can tell you're only half listening, it defeats the whole purpose. She needs to feel like this matters to you, because she matters to you. Then, while she's talking, just listen. Really listen. Not the, I'm waiting for my turn to offer advice kind of listening. The, I'm actually hearing what you're saying kind. Pay attention to how she's feeling, not just what happened. Is she frustrated? Exhausted? Disrespected? Overwhelmed? That emotional layer is what she needs you to notice. After she's done explaining, here's what you say. Something that acknowledges how it affected her. Try phrases like, that sounds incredibly frustrating. No wonder you're exhausted. Your boss sounds like a nightmare to deal with. That would drive me crazy too. Notice what you're not doing. You're not saying, well, did you try? Or, maybe you should? Or, have you thought about? You're just validating that what she went through was genuinely difficult. That's it. Here's why this works. She already knows her options. She's a competent adult who's been navigating workplace politics and difficult people for years. She doesn't need you to tell her what her choices are. What she needs is someone to acknowledge that today was hard. That's what helps her let go of it so she can actually relax and be present at home. Now let me address what you're probably thinking. But what if her job is actually terrible? What if she should leave? If her job is genuinely that bad and she needs to make a change, she'll figure that out. Your job isn't to push her toward that conclusion. Your job is to be supportive while she works through whatever she needs to work through. And here's the thing. If you respond supportively instead of jumping to, you should quit, every time she has a bad day, she'll actually be more likely to talk to you about the bigger decisions when she's ready. But if every time she vents, you immediately go to update your resume or just quit, she'll stop telling you about work at all. Because it feels like you're making her bad day into a bigger problem than it needs to be. Let me give you a specific example of what this looks like. She says, my boss completely ignored my input in the meeting today and went with someone else's idea that's clearly not going to work. Old response, did you speak up? You should email him after the meeting and lay out why your idea was better. Or document this in case you need to go to HR later. New response. That's so frustrating. You put thought into that idea and he didn't even consider it? She continues. Exactly. And now we're going to waste 2 weeks on this other approach when mine would have solved it faster. You. That would drive me crazy. Having to watch a project go sideways when you already had the solution. See what just happened? You didn't fix anything. You didn't tell her what to do. You just stayed with her in the frustration and validated that her reaction makes total sense. And that validation? That's what allows her to let it go. Because she feels heard. Here's something else that matters: tone. You can say the right words in the wrong tone and it doesn't land. When you're validating her frustration, don't sound dismissive or like you're humoring her. Sound genuinely sympathetic, like you actually care that she had a rough day, because you do care. You just need to show it in a way she can receive. Now, sometimes after she's vented and feels heard, she might ask, "What do you think I should do?" That's your green light. Now she's actually ready for input, because she's already processed the emotional part. But even then, ask questions instead of giving directives. Try, "What are you thinking about doing?" Or, "What feels like the right move to you?" This keeps her in the driver's seat instead of you taking over her problem. Here's what not to say when she's complaining about work. Don't say, "At least you have a job," or "It could be worse." That minimizes what she's feeling and makes her feel like she doesn't have a right to be upset. Don't say, "Why don't you just quit?" unless she's actively talking about wanting to leave. Otherwise, it sounds like you're not taking her seriously. Don't bring up how stressed you are at your job or try to one-up her bad day. This isn't a competition. Right now, it's about her, not you. And definitely don't tune out or act like her work complaints are boring. Even if she's told you about this difficult coworker 50 times, it matters to her today. So it should matter to you today. One more insight. Sometimes the work complaint isn't really about work. She's exhausted from managing everything: work, home, kids, and work is just where it's coming out. In those cases, your response should be, "Sounds like today was a lot. What can I take off your plate tonight?" That's way more helpful than trying to solve her work problems. Here's the bottom line. When your wife complains about her job, she doesn't need you to fix her career. She needs you to be her safe place to decompress. When you listen without fixing, validate without solving, and just be present with her frustration, you're giving her exactly what she needs to let go of the work stress and actually be present at home. That's what makes her feel supported. Not your brilliant career advice, your willingness to just be there while she processes. So next time she comes home complaining about work, resist the urge to problem solve. Put your phone down, really listen, and just say, "That sounds really frustrating. Tell me what happened." That simple response, that's what she's been looking for all along. Comment below and tell me, what does your wife complain about most from work? And if you want more help with these kinds of conversations, grab the ebook. Links in the first comment or my bio.